everybody, welcome to the Linville Kitchen. I'm Rob Ferber from Linville Orchards, and this is my very good friend and outstanding chef, best chef Mid-Atlantic 2010, James Beard Award winner from Osteria Restaurant in Philadelphia, Jeff Michaud. And I'd like everybody to please welcome Jeff.
Thanks. Thank you, thanks for having me. But this is a dessert that we do at Osteria. It's called a Zuppa Inglese, which is it means English soup in Italian. What we do is we make a pastry cream, we lighten it with a little bit of whipped cream, we make a mascarpone pound cake, and that's layers in the middle of it that we soak with a little Grand Marnier syrup, and we make a homemade strawberry jam. So today we're going to show you how to make all the components, and then we're going to put it all together. First, we're going to start off by getting the jam going. To get the jam going, we have a few key ingredients. We have strawberries, a little bit of water, some pectin, sugar, and glucose, or you could use corn syrup. It's just another form of sugar. Basically just put a little bit of water, the glucose in the pan. We're gonna add the sugar to it. So we're basically making a syrup. And then we're gonna cook the strawberries down in that with a little bit of pectin, and the pectin's gonna act as an agent to thicken it up. We have all these nice strawberries. It's about a pound of strawberries. So we're just going to rough cut these because they're all going to cook down anyway. We're going to mix the pectin and the sugar in with the strawberries. So we're going to let that boil down. And you're going to let it cook until it gets a nice consistency, and it's going to look just like, you see that? It looks just like jelly. While that's cooking, we're going to make the cake. And you can use any pound cake. You don't have to use mascarpone cheese. You could do it with ricotta. And we're just creaming it to get the butter and the sugar to mix together. I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. It's going to cream for a couple of minutes. It's going to get light and fluffy, and the sugar is going to kind of dissolve itself into the butter. You can see it in there. It gets a little creamy. All right. We're going to add the mascarpone cheese to it. And we're just going to mix that in real quick. You don't want to mix it too much, because if you mix it too much, the cheese will get a little lumpy. So while that's mixing, we're going to add in the eggs one by one. And you want to add them in one by one so they mix in thoroughly. If they don't mix in, if you don't add them in one by one, you're going to break the batter. Just enough till they get mixed in. And then we have a little bit of flour, some salt, just a little bit of salt, and some baking powder that we're going to add right at the end. And that's the cake. That's it. You're going to bake it at like 350 for about, depending on how big it is, for about 25 to 30 minutes. It's a nice smooth batter. You'll butter and flour the molds, and then you can bake it in any kind of mold you want. You'll have a pound cake that looks like that. So the last component for the dish is the pastry cream. And we're going to take a vanilla bean, and we cut the vanilla bean open, and then we scrape it with a knife to get all the inside out. And it doesn't have much, but it has a lot of flavor. So we're just gonna put that in about 1 liter of milk and bring it to a boil. We're going to take egg yolks, sugar, and we're going to whisk those two together. And some people use, you're going to need a little bit of a thickening agent. Some people use cornstarch. We use flour. So we're going to whisk a little flour inside there. And what we're going to do is we're going to temper a little bit of this milk into here. And tempering, you want to add a little bit at a tempering means just adding a little bit at a time, because you don't want to cook the egg yolks. And once you get it up to temperature and it gets hot, you can just pour it right back in the pot. And then you have a base that we're going to cook over the stove, and it's going to get nice and thick. So this, you want to make sure you stir it until it starts to thicken. It's going to look like a pudding by the time you take it off. When that's finished cooking, you're going to have a pastry cream that looks like that. It's almost like a pudding. You could actually eat it like that if you want. To start to make the filling for the Zuppa Inglese, we're going to take a little bit of heavy cream. We're going to whip it in the KitchenAid mixer to about a medium peak, which means the peak's going to stand up and fall down a little bit. If you over whip it and then you go to mix all this stuff together, it's going to be really soft and runny. And the pastry cream, all you want to do is just bring it to a boil and cook it for like another minute or two. You want to cook the flour out of it so it doesn't have a real starchy flavor to it. We're going to put the pastry cream in here. And then we're going to start to assemble the Zuppa Inglese.